Good evening, thanks John. Like this weekend, the weather's going to be a tale of two halves through the coming week. For England and Wales, a mostly dry picture as we've had this weekend, but it is going to become very warm, potentially hot. Cambridge here, fairly typical of southern, central and eastern parts later in the week. Whilst for Scotland and Northern Ireland, like this weekend, it's temperatures around about average, perhaps a little bit above, but a little bit more unsettled. Not as windy, however, as it has been, because we've had this deep area of low pressure for the time of year sitting close to Scotland. The Azores high instead is exerting its influence further north with time. So we've seen fewer showers today. They haven't been as heavy, but they're hanging on, as you can see, but they will continue to fade as we go through the rest of this evening and through the night. The winds also continue to ease. They've been a feature this weekend, not so much through the coming week. But actually, without those winds overnight, it could turn a little bit chillier come morning, 6 or 7 in rural spots. But a bright, fresh start to the day. The fly in the ointment for Monday is a weak weather front, really, pushing some patchy rain for the northern half of Scotland, possibly the odd spot of drizzle further south and for Northern Ireland, so greying the skies at times, but some sunshine still coming through, and the best of it will be across England and Wales again. So temperatures 18 to 21 degrees Celsius. So feeling pleasantly warm, strong sunshine, but as we've had this weekend, some very high levels of pollen, particularly across southern and central England and eastern Wales. Then through Monday evening and overnight, the cloud tends to melt away, except in the north and the west. So again, relatively chilly as we start Tuesday morning. But in the north and the west, a bit of a breeze carrying in these weather fronts. Most of them will be weak through Monday and into Tuesday, perhaps a little bit more substantial rain across the Highlands and the islands of Scotland. And with the cloudier skies here, temperatures will be held, as I say, into the high teens. But by Tuesday, we're starting to pull in some warmth across many parts of the Midlands, East Anglia and the southeast. And that's because we've got those light winds, we've got settled conditions and blue skies. At this time of year, not far away from the longest day, it's strong sunshine. We could get some very high levels of UV as well this week. Wednesday too sees those weather fronts just pulsing across parts of Scotland and Northern Ireland, making it rather grey and at times damp, but still 18 to 21 here, perhaps as high as 27 further south, which isn't as high as we've been seeing and are likely to see this week across Iberia. It's been we've seen some exceptional heat here for the last couple of weeks. And as our area of high pressure just drifts a little bit further eastwards later in the week, it allows a southerly wind to tap in to some of that heat as that heat spreads across the rest of Western Europe. But again, for Scotland, for Northern Ireland, we've got the weather fronts close by and some breeze. And we'll have potentially some wetter weather towards the north and west come Thursday, but still here up to 21 degrees Celsius and quite widely the mid-20s across England and Wales. And in the hot spots, 28 pushing towards 30 as we head into Friday, by which stage our weather fronts are threatening to come southwards. So the uncertainty is later in the week, really, and how far that cool air comes south. But at the moment, it looks hot as we go into Friday, and possibly even Saturday, that heat hangs on in southeastern areas. So it will be the hottest or warmest spell of the year so far. But then we think the northwesterly will bring in some cooler, fresher weather through the weekend, but it's certainly one to keep our eye on. Now back to John.